Welcome back, CSE 3200 Yukon stores. We are in Chapter 10, Video 2, and we're looking at the fragment manager here, and really this should have been talked about in a couple of different places before now, and just keeps getting skipped over. So I need to start this video with a kind of like an attachment. For the activity class, the operating system keeps track of the activity life cycle. The fragment life cycle is very similar. We did see that in a previous video in Chapter 9, but the operating system doesn't look at the internal details of the fragment. That's the fragment's business, and the fragment is just contained as as the main activity acts as a container, as that activity acts as a container. So it's the fragment manager instead of the operating system that keeps track of the fragments. So it'll keep track of a list of fragments, but it'll also have a backstack of fragment transactions. And why I really kind of needed to hit on this before I got to this video was this becomes important with our view model. So our view model is going to allow our data to persist. And that's, by the way, why we put our list of 100 pieces of crime data into the view model. But it'll allow it to persist over a state change, such as a rotation. And it will die with the fragment as the fragment dies. But we also have a fragment view, and that has the chance to die because we have like on destroy view. But anyhow, we could make the fragment die, and we don't want the data of that data. We don't want the data of that fragment to die necessarily. So what we could do is we could put that transaction on the backstack, and now it's saved in memory, and we can retrieve it. So view model may make use of this fragment transaction. All right, so what was planned for this video is we are going to make a RecyclerView and a layout file to go with it. RecyclerView, I don't have a picture of it here. That comes a little bit later, but we have this list, and it's got maybe 12, 13 items on it on the screen, but I can scroll up. Now, as I scroll up, and this guy right here goes out of view, well, this guy down here is about to come into view. So what the RecyclerView is going to allow me to do is say, hey, I already have a container for a view that's just the perfect size for this guy that's about to get destroyed. So I'll get rid of the information inside, but I can keep that container for this guy. So we're going to be more resourceful with our memory allocation. All right, so we are going to add the RecyclerView. So the first thing we're going to have to do is go into the Gradle, and we have to put in the dependency, implementation, single quote, Android X dot RecyclerView. I've got two options here. What are they? 1.1.0 and 1.2.1. I think I want that one, and I believe that's what the book says I want. So it's been a long time since the book and the computer have agreed. I will sync that, and it probably won't take too long. And it finished. OK, so that worked. So now we are going to make a new layout folder. So we're going to right-click Layout and go New Layout Resource Folder. And this is going to be Fragment Crime List. Fragment, lowercase, underscore, crime, underscore, list. Now we want to change the root element so that it is not constraint layout, but instead we're going to make it Android X dot RecyclerView. There we go. Dot widget dot RecyclerView. Let me check. Yup, that's exactly what I want. So OK that. And we don't have too many changes to make here. We are going to just do like 2 changes. Oh, no, there's less there than I thought. OK, let's see. that one, okay. So we are going to put in the ID, Android, colon, ID equals, double quotes, at plus ID forward slash crime recycler view. Crime underscore recycler underscore view. All right. And then we are going to end it here. The book says we end it here because we're never going to make any children of this. So we will just get rid of that. All right. So that file is done. Now we are going to hook up the view in crime list fragment. So we are going to put in our binding. And we're going to make use of the two different versions of the binding. So we'll do our back binding, private var, back binding. And in fact, we could probably go into crime detail fragment and just grab this right here. It's probably all the same. Yep, looks good. All right, so now we are going to override, just as we did with crime detail fragment, we're going to override the on create view. Override fun on create view. And do autocomplete it because it gives you just about everything you want. And then, I could have grabbed this from the previous file as well, but I will with these two right here, except that will not be the same. So I've got to watch out for that. And I better check that as well for crime list fragment. Did I put in the right binding? So is it going to give me an error here? It doesn't, because I called it detail. All right, so we do, I did copy and paste, but we got to get rid of detail and put in list. Always a gamble when you blindly cut and paste. All right, so fragment crime list binding. Fragment crime list binding. So I think I need to import. And we look good there. OK. And we're going to override the on destroy view. Now, I believe, because I did this many times in a row, that I overrode the on destroy. You want to and I did this in crime detail fragment in videos, but I want to override the on destroy view, not the on destroy. So let's bring this over. And yeah, since those things are so very much the way they were in crime detail fragment, it's almost all copy and paste. All right, so we have set up our recycler view, and we set up the layout file. And so we will continue this in the next video.